Hello, growers out there. What's going on? Jordan River here with more Growcast. Today we have friend of the show, Heart and Soil, back. Heart and Soil is here to talk about his Taste of the Rainbow line and his incredibly large and diverse pheno-hunts and breeding talk and selections and land races and so much more. It's a really strong episode. I know you're going to enjoy it today. Before we jump in, though, going to give some love to AC Infinity, the makers of the best fans in growing and some dope-ass grow tents, too. ACinfinity.com, code GROWCAST15 saves you 15% just for listening to this program. And you can get yourself the T-Series Smart Fan Series or the S-Series, the Simple Series, or their Cloud Lab tents. Thick, durable, but affordable grow tents. And they even have a nice little mount for your AC Infinity controller. Upgrade your fans, though, to AC Infinity. That's a must. Use code GROWCAST15 for 15% off, folks. Enjoy the savings, my Gromies. All right, everybody, thanks for listening. Enjoy this program. Hello, podcast listeners. You are now listening to Growcast. I'm your host, Jordan River, and I want to thank you for tuning in today. Before we get started, I urge you to spread the show. Share Growcast. Turn a grower onto the show. It helps us grow, if you know what I mean. Make sure you're subscribed. Give us a good rating and review. Thank you, Gromies. Today we have a good friend of the show, multiple time guest, and also guest of Growcast TV. Make sure to check that episode out. I think we actually put it up for free at growcastpodcast.com/GCTV. And we released that entire episode for free, of course, featuring today's guest, Brett from Heart and Soil. What's up, Brett?
Hey, how's it going, Jordan? Thanks for having me on again.
Yeah, buddy. Thanks for always taking the time to come and talk to us about breeding and your work specifically with land races. You are truly a fan favorite. But before we jump into all the questions that I have for you today, update us on your newest drop, Taste of the Rainbow line. This is available now, is my understanding?
So not yet. So
sorry.
It will be available. Seeds are still on the plant. It'll be available probably into May, depending on how everything finishes and dries. But yeah, into May is what we're looking at. Probably like the last day of May.
Okay. So upon hearing this, that actually is pretty close. So
yeah, no, it is close. So,
we're right there, baby. That's incredible.
April, we basically have like a month and a half, of a little bit of finish out, and then I'd like to give them I like to let them die in the pot, dry out all the way, just sitting there, and then hang them for another 2 weeks. So yeah, I like to do things a little on the slower side, but I think it ends, the end product is a little bit more resilient after that. But yeah, those will be available late May, and then we were holding on to the identity of our male for a long time. We hunted probably like 400 plants to try to find a male between basically all of our Peruvian Punch F2 line. We were looking just for the strongest, most standout, vigorous, thick stem, pest and disease resistance, but also obviously the flavor and stuff like that. But I like to honestly start with, some of those other traits first, and then kind of make sure we start with a stable foundation and then branch out. But the Taste of the Rainbow females have been just unbelievable in terms of terpenes. I mean, when you're talking Skittles, I mean, it literally tastes like a mishmash bag of smushed up Skittles.
Man, that sounds amazing.
It's really nice. So when we found the male, there was the strongest male out of all those seeds. And when it started to drop, its pollen, I mean, and everything just kind of spoke for itself. If you want to look at check out the male, it's on our Instagram. We post a lot, so you might have to scroll down a bunch, but you can check out that stud that we used for that project. And then I'll go ahead and just go right into the females that we use. Taste the Rainbow female, obviously, so we can do F2s. The 1-2 punch, we selected a really Mindo. So Peruvian Punch is Mindo breath crossed to Purple Punch crossed to Peruvian Heirloom. So we really hunted for the Mindo in this one. So like really dense, just gnarly looking buds, really deep purple tones on the buds, not so much on the leaves, but that one is a real standout. Just, I really like the 1-2 punch, sour, grape, musty. I mean, it's a good one. So
nice.
That's one of my favorites in the bunch. Then moving on, Malawi Wowie is another female that we have in there that got hit with the Taste the Rainbow male. And the Malawi Wowie is Malawi landrace. We selected, this one was the incense cut. It really did smell like Nag Champa, like a stick of incense. And that one was a really short, like a shorter, stockier, bigger bud sativa. And then that got hit with the Peruvian Punch in the F2 line. Actually, that was the second wave line. But yeah, that one is a real standout. The seeds are just gigantic. Some of the biggest seeds I've seen. Every single bud is just straight seed. I mean, everything got super pollinated. I was really happy with the pollination on that one for sure. So that's a standout. That's going to be, musty, sweet, more on the sativa side of the hybrid, but everything's going to be, around, 8 to 10 weeks in this line. So that might like more of the 10 weeker.
Oh, okay.
And then the other next female is Canna Banana, which is Banana Puddington crossed to Peruvian Punch. So that's a nice one.
Nice.
Yeah, and then Machu Mac. So that was from the Peruvian Punch F2 line, and that is Mac 1 crossed to Peruvian Punch. The female we selected was super vigorous, really deep purple on the finish of the buds, and like a milky, like a Laffy Taffy, like a grape Laffy Taffy kind of smell on that one. So anything with Mac people love, and I love.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Mac too.
Yeah, and then the next one we got in there was the Dank Mall. That one is the Peruvian Punch. No, Dank Mall is actually, Dank Mall is from a good buddy of mine who grows Euflora, Bo, and he actually made this one out in his yard one year. It was Alien Rock Candy and OG Kush cross.
Oh,
so that
nice.
That one's real nice, really early finisher. Just space helmet buds, as I like to call them. Just really nice plant. And then the next one is the Concord Chem from our good friend Jonathan Covert. So I've been doing a lot of work with him. He got these seeds a while back before he dropped the line, and I popped them and found this really nice pheno, gassy grapes. I mean, some of the stickiest bud. All the stuff he does is super grease. I mean, hash maker's dream. But this one in particular,
that one sounds up my alley.
Yeah, I mean, this one in particular has a little bit, along with all the chem and gas, it's got some fruity grape, flavors. So that one's real nice.
That sounds perfect for me.
Double D's by Exotic Genetics.
I've never heard of that one.
That one is GMO. That's the mama, and then hit with Tina. That's a male that they use a lot of. I know it's a weird name, Tina for a male, but she stacks. I mean, she stacks and she packs, and Double D's is a good name for that one for sure.
She stacks and she packs. Yeah. That's really funny.
So, Cherry on Top from Canorado.
Oh, nice.
That one's super flavorful. It's like a musty cherries on that one. Really nice terps, and like old school some deeper terps that I haven't really smelt in a long time. And then the next one is True OG, Platinum Kush Mints. And that one is from in-house. So anything in-house, I really like a lot of in-house gear. Everyone has opinions about them, but the frost on those ladies that they get put out from in-house.
I like in-house. Yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah,
I'm a fan as a smoker for sure. I don't know. I'm not all caught up on everything, but yeah, the Slurricane, I feel like that's a hype strain, but it lives up to the hype.
No, I think it all links up to the hype. But yeah, that's another one that we brought into the garden. For the Taste of the Rainbow line, we really wanted to, after we found the male, we really wanted to figure out, well, how can we really do a Taste of the Rainbow line? We got to have all the fucking flavors. You know what I'm saying? We got to taste that rainbow. So we brought in stuff from our own lines. We brought in stuff from other breeders, obviously tons of other breeders, because that's the only way to do it, in my opinion. You got to bring in stuff from everywhere to make the best. So yeah. So we brought a lot of good flavors in. So we got a few more on the list, believe it or not. We had 13 total. Number 11 is Lima Lemons. And Lima Lemons is lemon brulee from Covert Genetics, straight lemon grease, crossed to our Peruvian landrace heirloom. So that one is Someone actually just brought me some flower of it. A good buddy of mine grew it under some nice LED bud. So super flavorful. It's like pine sol, like lemon pine sol mixed with like fabuloso. You know, like like lavender fabuloso.
Oh,
You know, it's like
that sounds great.
Yeah, it's a super bright, floral, really nice. And yes, it's a sativa dominant for sure, but this particular pheno that we used, with I really feel like it has a lot of those lavender terpenes, the flavonoids, and those really are very calming. And like I smoke this stuff at night, and like I had no problem going to sleep. I mean,
I like that.
It's not like a couch lock by any means, but it's definitely like one of the most balanced to like relaxing sativas that I've smoked in a long time.
Lila Lemon, you said?
Lima Lemons, yep.
Lima Lemon. I'm
that was from our original line the first line that we ever did, the original Peruvian line with the Peruvian heirloom male. That's how I kind of all got started. So we want to bring some of that back in. The Sucker Pucker Punch, number 12 on that list, is sour lemon sherbet crossed to Peruvian punch. And that one drops some serious sour lemon sherbet terps. Like, I mean, it smells like fresh lemon zest,
nice.
Cold, creamy, really nice.
Mm.
And then the last but definitely not least, Big Body Gelati.
Mm-hmm.
So
another covert.
So I don't want to butcher this, but I believe it's Lotto 91. Now he's gonna kill me.
Ooh, I just had it too. I can actually pull this up because it was on our pick your own seed pack list for members who win prizes. I let them choose from a list, and you were so generous to populate a lot of that list, and so did Covert. So I can actually scroll down here.
Perfect.
Oh, it got taken. It got taken. No, I'm sorry. I should.
Okay, no, it's okay. I'll go on his page. It's on there.
Big Body Gelati.
Big Body Gelati.
I wanted to say it was the TK Lotto. I could be wrong.
It's like Lotto 95, like something I really hadn't heard of. But the only reason I even got it in the garden was because I went to his grow, Covert's grow, and this plant was twice the size. I mean, the buds were twice the size of everything else he had. And I mean, everything else, he always has fire. So no question. I mean, everything's dense. Oh, here it is. So Big Body Gelati is Lotto 95 times I Smell Gas by Covert.
Oh,
so
nice.
And that one's super, super gassy, just as the name lends. But so Lotto 95 is gelato crossed to Kim D BX.
Wow.
So that's kind of, so that's a nice one to begin with. And then that is crossed with I Smell Gas. And I Smell Gas is Kim D I-95 crossed to Kim D I-95. So
right.
A lot of gas with a little hint of gelato. And man, like some of these phenos, I popped 100 of this new round that we're doing of seed popping. I popped 100 Big Body Gelatis. I didn't pop 100 of anything else. This one is really impressing me. Just really interesting. Again, if you want to see some of these phenos, you can go on the Instagram at Heart and Soil Project on Instagram. And I try to do a good job of documenting as much as I can of some of these phenos as much as we hunt. But yeah, just really, really interesting, chunky gas. The shape of the leaves are really interesting. More of like a 3-finger OG type of look. More of a smooth, not some leaves are super serrated. These are more of like smooth on the corners. Frost all the way to the tips of these fan leaves. I'm talking like this one's blinged out. So I'm really excited about the potential for some of these crosses. So
it seems like those Covert crosses are particularly delicious sounding to me personally.
They creep into my lines because like he'll bring over a bowl, bring over a bag or bring over something. I'll see it at his house. I'm like, dude, I have to have that. Like give that to me, So we do a lot.
I'm gonna have to pick up a couple off this line. Some of your collabs. That's incredible.
Yeah. So we're actually doing a deal right now. If you spend $100 or more with us, we give you a free pack of that Big Body Gelati, and we have like 30 packs left.
Damn. That's not going to last long after this episode drops.
Yeah. So we did it. We initially did it just we had 100 to start. and we did it just for our email subscribers.
Oh, nice.
It's been a week, so we'll or it's been a few weeks. So I'll give everybody else a shot at it. And we always love to mention covert on here, and I'd love to. I know you had us on for that. I think it was the first video, right?
Yeah, Growcast TV.
Yeah, the Growcast TV. So that was a lot of fun. But yeah, he actually just left here about an hour ago.
That's awesome.
We're doing some shipping. So yeah, that's the new line, the Taste the Rainbow line. I'm super excited about it. I mean, they're all standouts. I mean, I wish I'm a little biased. I would say, my favorite on that list is going to be that 1-2 punch from Cross. But man, you can't go wrong with any of them. I'm really excited to see what happens.
I'm ready to taste the rainbow, man. I fucked up my sex tests for this last one, and the one Peruvian punch. The one Platinum Prospector that I had left turned out to be the most beautiful male. I thought it was female, had these really nice pronounced stipules, and the next thing you know, it was the most beautiful male I've ever seen. So unfortunately, you're not flowering in my garden right now like I wanted you to be, but maybe this is a blessing in disguise. I'll get some of that Taste the Rainbow line.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It happens. You can't win them all, but
it's just a shitty plant count, man. That's my problem. I'm only allowed to have 5 plants at a time flowering. So it's tough.
You're a good law-abiding citizen, my friend.
I absolutely am, Brett. And
yeah,
I'm taking it as a blessing in disguise, and I will pick up some of that Taste the Rainbow. Check it out, everybody. By the time you're hearing this, we got a couple weeks left, and it'll be dropping. So keep an eye out for Taste the Rainbow.
Yeah, we'll definitely be keeping you posted on when the official drop will be.
Nice. Heart and Soil Project on Instagram, of course. Before we go any further, I want to talk about this pheno-hunt you did with this Siberian strain. Before we return to Brett from Heart and Soil, shout out to Rain Science Grow Bags, the best containers in growing. They are mesh grow bags. They last a lifetime. Find them at rainsciencegrowbags.com. Use code GROWCAST to save big bucks on your Rain Science Grow Bags, baby. Really helps cut down on overwatering if you're in soil. I highly recommend these. Most importantly, it creates that air pruning effect when the roots reach the edge of the pot, or the container, I should say. In a plastic pot or a hard pot, they just kind of spin out. But in a pot like your Rain Science Grow Bags, they air prune. They die off, and they begin to laterally branch is what they do. They thicken, if you will. So Rain Science Grow Bags, better for your root zone. Avoid the overwatering. Get the low stress training grommets, little handle attachments, plus they look sexy. RainScienceGrowbags.com. Use code GROWCAST for savings, folks. All right, let's get back to Brett from Heart and Soil. I want to talk about this pheno-hunt you did with this Siberian strain.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy stuff.
We did a big pheno-hunt. I mean, I'm talking, we did over 700 seeds, and man, they range everywhere from Freak Show. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Freak Show.
Yeah, the one with the fern leaf patterns. Yeah.
In the house, we got Siberian, landrace, super auto, cross to our landrace or heirloom Hindu Kush, Afghani Hindu Kush. So it's not pure Siberian, because the pure Siberian, I popped those seeds about a year ago, and they were just super, super unpredictable. They were lanky. I mean, they're autoflowers. So I had a male like autoflower like within days. I mean, I'm talking this thing was like 2 inches tall, and it started to flower.
Whoa.
So it's there's definitely some things to work out in there. So what I did is I picked the most stable female out of like 100 seeds, and then I crossed that one to our heirloom Hindu Kush. Mm-hmm. So a lot of our stuff, that we've had before, we crossed to the Hindu Kush, and not all of it was released. This was one of them, the Siberian. We got a couple really interesting looking phenos. One in particular is sticking out. I can't really put it by my finger exactly what it looks like, but it's definitely got these like mean, interesting serrations, but like the leaves are more like bubbly than like typical Afghanis.
Oh, interesting.
So like this bubbly. I mean, like a Kush, but like also like a Bubble OG or something like that. But I'm super excited about that Siberian seed. We got, let's see, we started with 700 seeds with everything, a little over, and then we're down to like 175 plants now. So we did a good culling. We only want to keep the ones that work in this no-till living soil system. So basically, if it wasn't thriving in this system, we got it killed. So we only feed plain water.
Whoa!
From nothing. I don't do right now. In the last couple of years, I don't do any teas, any of that. So sometimes I'll do shilajit, which is a humic fulvic compound.
Oh, nice. What is that? What is that? And say that again and tell me what that is derived from or what it is.
Shilajit. So I'm going to look it up so I can spell it correctly.
Shilajit?
Yes.
Sounds like an expletive. It sounds like you're trying to get away with saying.
Shilajit. That's what I like to say. Shilajit.
I'm trying to look it up as well.
So it's SHILAJIT. So shilajit contains fulvic acid and like almost 100 different minerals. So you can take it for your, like a lot of people will take it for themselves. Like I take it every once in a while. It helps with like antioxidant boosting, anti-inflammatory, energy boosting. It's not a laundry list of benefits, but what I like it for is it really like increases the availability of various compounds. So like, for example, like if you take your shilajit, right, and then you drink a cup of coffee, that coffee is going to hit you harder and longer than it would normally.
Damn, dude, it fucking primes you? That's nuts.
So same with smoking. Like if you want to take your shilajit, and normally it takes you like 3 dabs to do it in the morning. Take some shilajit, take 1 fat dab, and wait a little while. That will be more effective, and same thing for like water and like various other any minerals that helps with uptake.
Down with this, man. A blackish brown powder. It's an exudate from high mountain rock. So basically, it's like it's an exudate from Himalayan rock salt. Exudate meaning it exudes this powder.
There's a lot of different brands out there. I don't work for them or anything, but pure Himalayan shilajit is what I use. So that's what I've been using for years. And I take it myself orally, and then I give it to the plants like, once or twice a cycle or something like that.
Damn, dude. I'm going to check this out. I'm a huge fan of Himalayan salt.
Yeah. Anything from the Himalayas is awesome. But
apparently,
but you'll love this. You really will. Especially if you're a coffee drinker. I think you'll notice a difference.
I love that, man. Shilajit. Check it out, guys.
Yeah, so basically I feed plain water through the first like 5 weeks, and I use very, very basic, like, very minimal input soil. It's like I'm using the vermicrop right now soil with like a little bit of, I put some insect frass. So that's one of my other tips and tricks. If like if you could add one amendment or top dress or something like that, I would say insect frass. It's pretty awesome.
Oh, hell yeah.
Got nitrogen, it's got potash. It helps with like the plant fight back against pathogens and stuff like that. So that's the only thing I put in the soil. Wow. And some phenos and some plants, are a little hungrier. They don't like that. They'll turn yellow or whatever. So those got killed first, and then anything that wasn't super vigorous got killed and all that. So now we're down to, I'm actually sitting with the babies right now. So I'll kind of go through the line of like whatever we have. So we have, you remember the Peruvian punch Nancy cut? I don't know if you ever saw a picture of that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so that's something we're well known for. We took that Nancy cut, we crossed it to the Hindu Kush male. So we have a good amount of Nancy times Afghanis. So those should be interesting. Sour slice. I won't go through every single breakdown of lineage with everything, but that's one of ours. Ecto Cooler crossed to Afghani. Punch Pop is another fun one of ours that we did. That's Bazooki's crossed to Peruvian Punch. Peruvian Pinata, Pull and Snap, Ayahuasca Queen, V2. So that's a high CBD, like a 3-to-1 that we did on our first line. We got the Hindu Kush Afghani from the line we just dropped. those Hindu Kush Afghanis sold out. So we're probably going to do an F2 line eventually.
Nice.
So we got a bunch of these Afghanis popped in this round. Heirloom Hero, which is from that Hindu Kush line, the Siberian landrace crossed to the Afghani. Got those in the mix. Kabul Candy, which is pink Pez. Crossed to Hindu Kush. Those are looking real beefy. Some of the best looking plants in the bunch. Kabul Candy, and we still have some of those. Those are going to be nice, people. So we don't have too many more packs of those. Super purple, dense, squat, nice weed plant.
Man, that's a lot of different strains that you're doing this hunt with. Usually, in my head, I'm imagining like you do, and this makes more sense what you're doing. But like I'm thinking hunting something down in a strain. You did this massive pheno hunt. It doesn't matter if it's one strain or not. As a populace, you're looking for standouts among all these different varieties. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, and so some like big body gelati is in the mix. So that one, for example, we popped 100 seeds of. Most of them we popped around. Most of them we popped around 50. Some we didn't have very many. Some we didn't have very many of. Like Orange Blossom Special. That's from Greenpoint Seeds. A buddy of mine did an F2 of that Orange Blossom Special. Turned out really, really terpy. Really nice orange, sweet orange flavors with some chem in there. So that's a nice one. We got the Mac 1, crossed to Afghani Hindu Kush. I mean, come on, that's going to be fire. I'm excited about that. And then the last but not least, Kim D I-95 crossed to Afghani, crossed to the Hindu Kush. So that Kim D I-95 I got from Covert.
Yeah, that's the that's the I smell gas before it got back crossed. I smell gas
right. Mama. Yeah, I smell gas mama. So yep.
Not that I know anything about breeding, but when I said that makes more sense. I heard, isn't like I don't know if the word standard, maybe minimum is better, pheno-hunt like 40-ish seeds. Is there a reason you chose 50? Didn't I read that somewhere that 40 seeds is like a...
Because I have them. I mean, ideally, in all honesty, 100 seeds is my benchmark.
Okay.
If I'm going to do a real feed, that's why I did 100 of the big body. Because I'm really trying to find like the best one. And they look pretty uniform. So it's going to be tough.
I thought I read somewhere, maybe that was something outside of cannabis that got brought into but I thought it was like 40 seeds.
No,
maybe I'm wrong.
I'd say, minimum 50, in my opinion, for like, if you have the seeds and you really want to do a pheno, like for this one, I didn't have 50 of the Mac, the Mac times Afghani. I didn't have 50 of the Siberian. I didn't have 50 of everything, the ecto cooler, right. So some of them I just didn't have.
But 100 is what you like. Find that 1%.
100 is what I'd like to have. Oh, and the last one, which is another interesting one, I missed it. Indiana bubblegum.
Oh, nice.
Cross the ice cream cake.
Shout out to Mosca, right?
Yes.
Mosca.
Yeah, cross the ice cream cake.
Oh, cross the ice cream cake. I love it.
Yeah, so that one's going to be nice too. But yeah, in terms of, pheno hunting, sometimes you just got to, you got to do, like, for you, like, for example, you only have so many plants. Like, it's not feasible for you to pop 100 seeds, so you just gotta do what you can, and also like I popped a lot of seeds. I soaked I soaked closer to like 900 seeds. So like I only went forward with the first poppers.
You're constantly culling from the moment they're sprouting. You're throwing some out. As you said, you apply this thing and they don't take it. You're throwing them out in the seedling stage and the veg stage. You're just constantly culling through the whole cycle. Correct.
Exactly. And I even put them in the flower room, let them all start flowering. I kill plants, 3 weeks into flower all the time.
Jesus Christ, man. That's really, really interesting. Kind of taking a peek behind the curtain here. Those are some large numbers that you're playing with though. Yeah. And it's nice to, it's nice to be able to do that because a lot of these seeds are my own, so it's like, it costs me no money to like do these giant pheno hunts. So yeah, I love it. I mean, this is my favorite. I'm like, I come down here and just sit with these plants, run my hands over them, strengthen them, and just like, something like, ooh, that one's going to be nice. Or, ooh, that one's looking real shitty. Go ahead and kick that one out now. I'm going to do it right now. So three sucker pucker punches will not be making it to the next round. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
But
let me ask you this. Let me dig down on this a little bit here. I don't want to break any break any hearts out there, but we have this conception that, you know, I saw you with this picture of the flowering plant. I want that pheno. You know, I'm going to pop 10 packs. I hope I get that pheno. After popping so many seeds, what have you learned about like variation? Do you see kind of really similar outcomes? Does it all depend, strain dependent? Do you find a unicorn in just about everything? Like, what have you learned as far as variation, F1 and beyond, after popping so many seeds of so many strains?
Depends on the strain, you know, because like, for example, this big body gelatis, you know, it's got a lot of Chem DI-95, you know, plus a little gelato, but like it's pretty uniform, you know, because they're from strains that have been bred to be uniform. A lot of them, you know, like the Chem, you know, like the I smell gas is Chem DI-95 across the Chem DI-95. He's looking to make something like mom, you know, that's what we're,
so it's all strain dependent.
So that's what he did. You know, he made something that looked, so this one's going to be a little tougher to hunt through because everything is so similar and everything looks so great. For the Afghani, like the pure landrace Afghani, that was not the case. Not every single seed, they don't look the same at all, you know? So, you know, you really got to do, you know, like right now I'm looking at them. I see 5 that I would probably want to move forward with out of these 25 plants. You know, some of them are just looking a little smaller, you know. I'm looking for like the best of the best, obviously. So yeah, to kind of answer your question, what I've learned is, you know, you don't know until you pop it. You know, it's like there's so many the undiscoverable things in the cannabis world, and then
it's impossible to predict.
So many things, like it's impossible to predict a lot of ththings. But I mean, you know, the more breeding you do to homogenize, the more you're going to get the same.
True.
What I'm trying to do, and eventually I'm going to, you know, I'm trying to do some sort of homogenization in the sense that I'm trying to get plants that are 8 to 10 weeks that have these that are fit within these parameters. But I'm looking like all over the map, you know, literally all over the world for like the most crazy. I got Freak Show in here, you know. I'm going to cross.
That surprises me. What inspired you to work with Freak Show?
Look at that thing, man.
You just like the way it looks. You're fascinated by morphology. I like that about you, man.
Yeah, that's wild.
You know, the other thing I got to give you props for, man, is you're a landrace guy, but you're like realistic about landraces. They aren't this like magical, special alien thing. You do need to work them, it sounds like. You tell it like it is, but you're looking for those, as you said, undiscovered, unique traits. So is that a fair statement? And how would you characterize
100%,
your relationship with landrace?
100%. And now at this point in my life, I do kind of like live in this bubble where like what I say goes in this breeding process. Like I'm my own boss. Right. I get to do whatever I want, you know. But it was not always like that. You know, I worked my way up in the cannabis industry, and I had to do what my bosses were telling me, what the owners were telling me. And I learned a lot about like the reality of the situation, right? You know, it's like, do you want to have a job? We need to hit these numbers. You want to hit these numbers? We're going to have to pump out this many harvests per year. This is going to have to weigh this much. So that really cuts down the amount of strains you can work with, because they need to be uniform. They need to finish in 8 to 9 weeks. They need to test above 20%. They need to have a lot of weight. You know,
limits the gene pool significantly.
So breeding was out of the question, and bringing new strains in was like walking on eggshells, like trying to get new strains, you know, in anywhere I ever worked. But I also learned, like, I was the manager of a lot of these places, and I had to, you know, I got questions from employees all the time. Why can't we do this? Why can't we do this? And it's like, hey man, I agree with you, but like at the end of the day, this is what the boss said. And when we put it down on paper, it's like, this is what makes sense. I mean, there's some ways to, like, you know, I think we should be able to take things 11 weeks, you know, 10 weeks in the cannabis, you know, in the indoor, you know, some owners want 8 weeks all day. So I guess the reality of the situation, I realize what that is, you know, so I want to explore things now. But at the end of the day, like, I need to look at things from somewhat of like a business perspective and think, hey, like, how is this going to be feasible? Now, I throw like spaghetti against the wall and see what sticks a lot of times, do pollen chucking first, then do real breeding next, So, what I'm doing now is fun. It's awesome. It's like my dream. But like I come from a place of like more rigidity and more like more rules that I realize that if I want to make it to the next level and do bigger things, that it doesn't mean I can't have fun and play with. I mean, I do exactly what I want, but when it comes to landrace, the reality of the situation comes down to it a lot, that you still have to do the work, that you're going to find a diamond in the rough, when you pop 1,000 seeds, but you got to take it to the next level after that and find the best of the best and continuously culling and only put out the best. That's why I was saying I kill things in week 3 in flower. It's like, I don't want to make seeds of that just to make seeds and just to have a name on a list on a menu. That's not the goal here. The goal here is to like put out like the best and craziest and most interesting stuff, so that's what the pheno-hunt is for me. It's like,
that's an honest assessment, man.
Yeah. So
I like that.
Long answer to your short questions. But.
Long answer to my long question.
Yeah.
I know, man. I love it. And people love seeing a peek behind the curtain and seeing what it's like to work these strains from some of these land races being kind of unrecognizable to the dank in our bags into something really special and unique. So yeah, it is super interesting. And back to the variety, it makes sense, right? If you were just to take a couple of generations, we know this works just by when people, make further filial generation, make an F5 or whatever. You can breed for certain traits. And if you stack those traits, you get what you want really quick. But with the constant polyhybridization, it kind of works in the other direction, right? There has to be more and more recessive traits. The more you add to the genetic history and the diversity of the genetic gene pool. The genetic gene pool within that particular plant. You don't want to swim in the peen pool, trust me. So with all the polyhybridization, it points to your answer to that question, which was, it depends on the strain. If someone's been breeding it for a certain aspect, you're much more likely to get that certain aspect. Whereas all the polyhybridization just adds more variety, which personally, as a grower, I love an F1 and an F2.
So yeah, people always ask, like, are these strains stabilized, right? Are they stabilized? So like a lot of people ask that question because that's what they've been told is what we're looking for in seeds, right? Stable genetics, right?
Right.
Well, obviously what stability means to me is it doesn't harm.
100%.
Homogenization is a different thing. I tip my hat to breeders who breed F4s, F5s, F6s. I will never do that. That will never be me. I will never be breeding past F3 ever. And the reason is because I really am I'm exploring genetics. That's what the Heart and Soil project is about, exploring what this plant has to offer, not me dictating what I want. I mean, there's certain things that, like I said, it needs to fit within this box, right? There's certain parameters, but like after that, I let the animal be the animal, you know what I'm saying? I let the tiger be the tiger. I take it off the leash and I let it go hunt, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes, I find things that are weak in the gene pool and then I call it and move on,
But it's about the variety. That's the whole beauty of nature. And that's
all about the variety and spice of life. Like I said, I started this journey in the cannabis, world under, I was put in a box. I wasn't able to do the things I wanted to do. And now's my opportunity to do the things I want to do. So I don't want to do F4s. I don't want to, what some people call stabilized genetics. People are going to probably go crazy over that. But I want to find the freaks. I want to find the things that nobody has found yet. So I think it's always fun to find new things and be the first person to, whoever grew that first, the Girl Scout cookies cut, that one cut, it's like, damn, I found something really special, and that's what I hope people will find in my gear, is something that hopefully connects them, back to the roots of what this plant is all about, both geographically and spiritually and all that, plus we can like find some dank flavors. And like, at first I always like to say I try to take the land races and preserve them. Right. But then also I want to take things from these land races, and then what I call bring it back down to earth. So like take it from 13 weeks down to 10 weeks and bring all those beneficial aspects and crazy terpenes and pest and disease resistance from these landrace strains, but then also make something that we can grow inside a 9-week facility. Like a lot of my strains are. Peruvian Punch is being grown at Euflora. A couple other ones being grown over there and a couple other places. But it's nice to be able to take something from the land race and bring it to the community in something that they are familiar with.
That's really cool, man.
So like some people are like, I don't want land race. It's like, ooh, hold on though. What about this sprinkle of land race? How do you 100%. Like that? Like I've never tasted that before. What's that flavor, man? It's like, yeah, that's that land race, coming through. So yeah, it's the Heart and Soil Project,
baby. We have to actually close it out here in a minute, but I have to dig in on one thing you said before we wrap it up. You specifically said, I'm not going to go past F3s. I want you to extrapolate on that and maybe confirm or deny something that I've heard, just kind of buzzing around, talking to breeders or whatever, that the F2s tend to show more of their grandparents' traits. Do you agree with that? And then also follow-up question, why F3s? Why are they the limit?
So F1s, obviously first generation, you're going to get a wide gene pool, but not as much as you'd think. The wider gene pool, what I've found, comes in the F2s.
Huh.
I mean, sometimes you can get them to look like the grandparents for sure, but I see the most variation between,
just overall
in F2s, honestly.
And that's something I've heard before. That's really interesting.
Yeah. And then also, so the F3s is where you start to stabilize, right? It's where you start to homogenize a little bit, So like the Peruvian Punch, for example, that's a lady of mine that is really near and dear to my heart. I like a lot of things about that plant, like the lavender terpenes, sour, it's purple, it's vigorous, it's thick, it's, giant buds. So a lot of things I really like about it. So that one, I'm probably going to take to F3 and try to stabilize some of those things. Now, really don't get into like full, homogenization until F4s, F5s, and so on.
So you like the F3s because you would, in your estimation, they're the first place where you can really get things to stick around, traits to stick around,
right?
But also there's still some variety.
Correct. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then also, like, I don't want to handcuff myself and say, oh, guys, the F4s are coming soon, because everyone really wants that Peruvian Punch. Well, it's gone, and that's part of what we do. It's like we're always hunting. We're not trying to make the same thing. Like if you see it grown out, chances are it's gone or it's going to be gone soon. If you see a picture of a flower from me, from Heart and Soil Project, chances are, in a lot of cases, depending on how many numbers there were of the strain, if you buy it, you got it. If you don't, we've moved on.
That's crazy, man. I like that though, because you got to move it like the cannabis industry moves at light speed.
And that's not to dangle the carrot and say, ooh, you want this? And then it's gone. You can't have it. That's not the reason. The reason is because I want to keep looking. I like
exactly.
I don't want to do the same. I got this freak show in the house now. I'm going to, hit that probably to the Afghani male or the I-95 male. Little tip. Little insight. Just me and Kobe were just sitting here talking about it, figuring out what lines I want to do. So I'll probably I might do 2, but I'll at least do 1. This freak show is getting hit with the landrace Afghani or the I-95 Afghani. So
that is killer, man.
Just that alone, and those seeds alone, all kinds of crazy stuff that pops up. So yeah, it's it boggles my mind in a good way. It's like the work never ends. The opportunities for creative, I would just say creation. And I'm not doing it. I'm not doing any creating here. I'm just
creative expression.
Creative expression, exactly. Yeah. So that's this is
I love it, man.
I feel like this is where I'm supposed to be. I'm really starting to dig my heels in and really start to dive into these projects. So
I just love it, man. Cannot say it enough. We are here to support you. Heart and Soil Project on Instagram. Loving what Heart and Soil is doing. All his generosity for the members. Let's get you back on Growcast TV with Covert or just whenever.
I was just talking to Covert about that today. So I was telling him I was talking to you and that I'd obviously bring him up and try to plug him as much as possible. Covert Genetics @Covert Genetics on Instagram. Like I said, if you buy $100 or more from me, you get a free pack of that fantastic big body gelati. And then also we're going to do, last time I did buy one, get one free for you guys. You know, I've had nothing but love from the Growcast family. You guys are just a special breed, and you guys deserve buy one, get
Hell
one free.
yeah.
So you hit me up, tell me you heard about me from Growcast, buy one, get one free, anything I have in stock. So we appreciate
That's
you
crazy,
guys.
man.
And yeah, we just want to see our strains growing. I can't grow them all, guys. I need your help. So
I love that, man. This is why I love doing this. We hook up with people like Heart and Soil. We have similar values, and now you as a Growcast listener enjoy that epic deal at Heart and Soil Project. Hit them up on Instagram, everybody. Create one if you have to. Go and get it.
And then also, last thing, I'm sorry, I know we're kind of running out of time, but we did start an email subscription list about every 2 weeks. We send out deals and a little behind the scenes info and stuff like that. Early specials, early deals and all that. B Anderson at heartandsoilproject.com is the email. Or if you go to our Instagram, you can click on the link. The link in our Instagram store or in our page will take you to the sign up for the email list, the Heart and Soil Seed sign up list. So yeah, if you want to stay up to date, I can't get on all the Growcast shows as much as I want to, but if you want to stay up to date as much as possible, follow us on Instagram or join that email list, because that email list is really going to be where it's at. So
yeah, good for you, man. You got an off platform. That's the key. 100%.
To.
About to start a whole nother conversation there, man. But we gotta go here. We're at the top of the hour. Thank you, Brett, so much. Appreciate you. Seriously. Let's go ahead and connect on Growcast TV. Thank you as always for sharing your knowledge. And yeah, and for all the deals. I really can't thank you enough, buddy.
Yeah, no worries. I really appreciate you too. And hopefully Covert and I will see you here on that Growcast TV soon.
Hell yeah. Sounds good, everybody. Stay tuned at Growcast on Instagram to follow us. Patreon.com/Growcast, of course, for loads of bonus content, including the Growcast TV we keep talking about. We'll see you there. Be safe out there, everybody, and grow smarter. That's our show for today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you to Brett from Heart and Soil, of course. Before we wrap it up, shout out to Cultilux, the creators of industry-leading CMH fixtures. We've also got some bar styles up at cultilux.com. Mention Growcast for 10% off your order. I love the Cultilux CMH Spectrum. In my cold basement in the winter, I can use some of that heat, and my CMH kicks butt because of Cultilux. Might even be using a white label Cultilux. That's how big these guys are. And like I said, cultilux.com is where you need to go. Pick up a CMH. They got what you need. Mention Growcast10, 10% off. Thank you, Cultilux. We're also giving away a fixture and membership. Thank you so much for subscribing, for staying tuned. I appreciate each and every one of you listeners. Growcast is bigger right now than it's ever been. I'm eternally grateful for this position, to be able to bring you content, to be able to serve you growers, save you bucks. I really appreciate you all. We'll see you next time on Growcast, everybody. Bye-bye.